2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Place your money line, prop, and parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Iowa only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where Panthers mean everything. And we're here chopping up all the news and opinions with my homeboy Cody Lashney. How you doing, Cody?
Tony Dunn, brother man, I am wonderful. It's a Tuesday night. We are very, very close to football. The Carolina Panthers report to what appears to be their final practice season at Wofford College on the 24th. I'm pumped about it. We're getting closer and closer to football. We have the best Panther fans on YouTube in the chat. Tim Tizzy, Derek Hall, John, Legacy Lynn, Underground West, Trill One. You know what we're about to do. Tony Dunn, my brother, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's talk some Panther football.
Tonight's show is media decentralization and an athletic double or nothing as we talk about, I guess we're kind of searching for what we want to talk about, what there is to talk about. Thankfully, there's very little Panther news to talk about. Nobody getting arrested or suspended or getting hurt as of this point, knock on wood, but all smooth sailing at this point. I also think that we don't really worry about that as a fan base all that much. I think that we all know that there's a strong group of men in that locker room. So this is actually in the past, maybe not as a Panther fan, but just in general, football fans' worst nightmare is hearing one of their star players gets busted out of trap house or whatever it may be. So look, right now we're in the starving season, and the biggest news actually has to do with Panthers media. Jordan Rodriguez, who has announced recently that she would be leaving the Charlotte Observer, today announced that she'll be joining the Athletic. That makes 2 former Charlotte Observer beat reporters, Joe Person and now Jordan Rodriguez, covering the Carolina Panthers for the Athletic, leaving us wondering, man, how are they going to keep the lights on, or are the lights going to be on for the Charlotte Observer much longer? So we'll be talking about how this Maybe does this mean anything for Panther fans and how they access Panthers content going forward too? We have to talk about this series that is debuting in 3 days. It's Panthers All or Nothing. Tony Dunn's been calling it the All In, Amazon All In. I swear I've been calling it by its wrong name for like 3 years. The show's All or Nothing. It debuts on the 19th in 3 days. And Cody, on Sunday, we're going to be doing a little special bonus podcast. And I was thinking maybe we should call it Double or Nothing.
Hey, man, I'm down. Me and you talking about All or Nothing, Double or Nothing. Hey, man, I'm ready to go. Like I said, I'm stoked about it. Amazon keeps on putting new clips out, and so does the Panthers Twitter. I'm ready, man. I love it. I think that we're going to really see what kind of team we have this season, because even though we're losing a lot of players, dude, I'm telling you that locker room is still solid. You have Cam Newton and Greg Olsen there and Luke. I mean, you're talking about stalwart leaders in that locker room. I'm excited to see the dynamics of our team. Norv Turner, Ron Rivera. I'm pumped about it, man. I love this kind of shit, and it's about my favorite football team. I'm ready for it.
Derek Hall in the YouTube chat says Cody called it last year, so he the man. You're right. Cody did break news about All or Nothing. Too bad that's second to nothing, because Tony broke the news on the All In show, right?
Yeah, way better, much better.
Way better, way better. It's called. What genre is it? Not documentary, fantasy.
Yeah,
all right. While you guys a mockumentary, while you guys are hanging out in that chat room, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Join the podcast using the cat calls line. The number's 252-228-5098. And just overall, share the show with a friend. It's the longest running Panthers podcast. We're going to continue to grow it each and every week. Tuesday nights we're live, and we do it because, I don't know, it's fun hanging out with you guys talking about football. It's better than talking about real life, right, Cody?
Way better. I don't know if you've heard, but real life is pretty stupid right now. It's at all-time levels of stupid. So I'd much rather talk about Panthers football and distract myself from the idiocracy outside our doors.
Let's talk a moment about what the internet has done to media, disrupting media. That's why, the C3 Panthers podcast is part of that disruption. Yeah. And that we started this podcast when Google opened Google Hangouts and live streaming to the public, right? And I've always talked about this as a historian and someone who studies the past. We kind of find these momentum points when it comes to mankind, right? Some people may say like the fire or the wheel. Generally, people start talking about like sedentary agriculture, and then you develop writing, right? So you go from oral cultures to written cultures, and how you're able to build upon knowledge. Another giant momentum point was the printing press. And now, we are living in an age where we're seeing a momentum point, a disruptive force in the internet. It's changed the way the media works. We've seen that through Twitter, where we all hang out. We see that as each and every week we're able to do this podcast because it's democratized, how we follow the news and how we interact with the news. One of the entities that's obviously felt the force of this decentralization, this change, Cody, the Charlotte Observer continues to lose people. Every day I open Twitter and someone is leaving the Charlotte Observer. We saw Marcel. We saw Jordan Rodriguez. We saw Joe Person last year. I also saw the Katie Peralta girls gone. They're running out of that building like crazy. Where is, I don't know, is this story, where do you want to start with this? Do we start with just the Charlotte Observer? Is it our news? I know everybody's saying newspapers are dying. I'm a little surprised that the Observer is hemorrhaging this badly.
Well, I'm not really surprised. It's, I think, I don't know who owns The Athletic, but one thing is for sure, they are swooping up journalists everywhere from all different kinds of teams around the NFL. And Jordan Rodriguez is now one of them. She has joined Joe Person and has moved from the Observer to the Athletic. And, so listen, I understand a lot of people are back and forth on Jordan. There was the whole Cam Newton debacle and all the shit show that followed that. But then ultimately, what I feel is you have a reporter that asked knowledgeable questions. She had the balls to ask about Ron Rivera's job security at the end of the year last year. She tries to be on the point with her questioning. And, hey, people don't have to love her, but I do think that, she does add a nice voice to the beat writers of that are out there covering the Panthers. So I'm okay with it. As far as the Observer is concerned, I could not tell you a single name that works there anymore at all. I mean, I don't know.
Sorensen's part-time. We found out today. There was a great tweet by somebody who said that Sorensen, and who's the guy that covers the Hornets? Will something, or oh God, what is his name? Barnell? Something Barnell. Does that sound right?
Yeah, Brad Bromwell or Barnell. Yeah, I know who.
But they were like, the tweet was, them dudes going to be cutting the lights off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sorensen's part-time. I think, dude, is really what you're seeing is it's kind of hard for these media giants to fund so much when fund so many individual writers and career writers to work the beat essentially for a diverse things. I mean, think about this. They got politics writers. They got local government. They got social. They have hundreds and hundreds of writers. Well, maybe not that many, but they have such a broad, employee base. And we always know that in a business, payroll is like one of the top expenses. And then the problem is that the cash flow coming in is just slowed down to a halt. So much so, I mean, like, we really, you're probably going to see the physical newspaper end in the near future, or at least cut back. They've cut back in size. Are they going to cut back in frequency? But I thought that I think where it surprised me with the Observer is I thought one of the strengths that they had, the ability to reach a broad internet audience regularly, was through sports. I thought that would have been, if they were going to forge ahead as a business, being a city that had access and had really good writers when it comes to historically, or at least strong writers historically covering a team. I thought they would forge ahead on sports. It seems like this is that they're kind of throwing their hands up in that area, and that surprises me, because now my question with the Athletic, which I like the Athletic, I'm subscribed to the Athletic. I read Joe Person stuff. I think it's great. I think he's good. I think Rodriguez is good. I mean, I think she's young and some different things, but the Athletic kind of sold themselves on long form at writing. It was that their pitch has been for a while now, like, in-depth coverage for the diehard fan, for someone who will pay to read a 5-page article. I'm wondering, when they double down in this manner, are they trying to diversify a little bit to shorter form, which technically sells better on the internet, or just period in life? Is people just they don't read the story. They read the headline, the first paragraph maybe, and that's it, and then they comment on it.
Yeah, and Tommy Walker said in the chat, I'd like to see Tepper buy the Observer. So the Observer is actually owned by a company that owns a bunch of newspapers in different cities around the U.S. So they have a parent company. So if you buy the Observer, you're not just buying the Observer, you're buying all these other places that are probably going out of business themselves. It just seems like, when you have someone that's dedicated to putting together top flight written content like the Athletic is doing in a different kind of way, you get the feel that you're paying for a level of quality that comes with the Athletic, and a bunch of other stuff with the Observer that you might not be interested in. Like, maybe you just want sports and you're not.
Well,
really
that's the
interested.
cool thing with the one thing with the newspaper, Cody, is I don't buy any of them, but I subscribed. That was for like $40 for the year. I was able to subscribe to the Charlotte sports page and the Raleigh News and Observer sports page because they're owned by the same company. Right? Yeah. So, like, those are the best things. I get to follow the Canes. I get to follow basketball and on Tobacco Road. I then I had the best coverage when it came to the Charlotte Panthers, or at least the most instant coverage. We knew that the Charlotte Observer, those guys they were their main voice. I don't know. I don't know if the Athletics model can work, though. I'm interested to see, can a subscription-based service where you have to pay kind of significant, it's not free, it's not $1, it's like $4 a month, I believe, or more. Not entirely sure. I used a student discount because I got an EDU email. So I got it for 50% off or some shit like that. I'll use that. But, are they going to be able to support 2 beat writers? That's a lot of money that they're going to be shelling out. Think about that.
It's like I said earlier, though. So they have an athletic for every NFL team. And I'm sure they do it for other sports as well, baseball and basketball. I don't know if it's just football, but I would imagine that it is.
They're trying to do every sport. They're trying to be like that, have a writer for every team and every sport. Just like we're part of the Overtime Media Network, and they want to have a podcast for every team in the NFL, everyone in college football one day.
Yeah, and, it's one of those things where, if you are willing to pay for something, then you'll get a better quality of product. And I kind of think that's what they're saying. We're paying our writers top money because why else would they be leaving their jobs where they're at to go to the Athletic? I mean, they consider it to be greener pastures. So you're paying for writers that are compensated for their work. I mean, that's the American dream, man.
It is, but it's expensive too. What I mean by that, for that company is paying a lot for that coverage.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I will say, mark my words, write it down, folks, is that if the Athletic wants to thrive, they're gonna continue to have to, and I'm sure they're already doing this, is expand them beyond just the written form. Because really, how do they get? So they're going to have to get, if you're a subscription base, you better not have a bunch of ads and that crap, right? So it's just going to be hard. I mean, think about how many people it would take to just pay Rodriguez's salary per year. So there's going to be interesting things. I think you'll watch the Athletic, see if they're able to crack this. Are they going to be able to? Are they going to become the next Charlotte Observer, like the dinosaur of the internet, or will they find a way to morph and evolve and become the next thing, right? But I'm happy with interesting though. I think interesting about the Charlotte Observer falling apart so much. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about?
Well, I know what I want to talk about. All the 3 and Underground West have brought this to our attention. They have not seen this yet, and that's what we're here for. We got y'all covered. Cam Newton posted this on his Instagram. He is out with the boys in California, and Cam Newton's throwing the football like the bad man that he is. And he's out there with Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore is out there. Jarius Wright is out there. Even Holyfield is out there. Curtis Samuel wasn't. But listen, man, that's all I'm happy to see right there. Cam Newton extending that shoulder, throwing the football. The range of motion looks great right now. He's putting the ball right in their hands. I mean, listen, this is so important that the quarterback and the receivers be on the same page, on the same wavelength. And Cam Newton has been doing this for a while now, meeting up with the guys on the receiving core and the running back core before the season starts. They used to do it in Baltimore. They did it out in California this time around. And I'm happy, man. That looks like a healthy throwing the football Cam Newton. Now, I don't have any other details, but that's what it seems.
I got a detail. Number one, I've been saying this all along. Cam Newton has been especially visible since all of the injury talk. Just 2 months ago, people were talking about could he sit out the whole season, all that stupid nonsense, right? Cam Newton has been very visible throughout this process, which is important because that means that he's feeling good. Right. Yeah, now you're seeing this. You're seeing videos of him throwing. You're seeing the live streaming his throwing, all this. You didn't see that crap after his 2016 cleanup when he was coming in the 2017 season. They come out there and they throw the ball. They come out the very first day of training camp. They come out there and Cam Newton's throwing for the very first time, and then they shut him down, for 5 days straight. And then it's kind of mishmash. This right here, folks, is good. These are great signs, right? This is like you're looking at all the tea leaves right now are reading the right way when it comes to Cam Newton, his shoulder health, and going forward. Cody, I want to bring this to you and your attention because we are going to be talking about this All or Nothing show, second in the ratings to All In, directed by Tony Dunn. But when I look at this right here and I start to think of that show, All or Nothing, and how they're going to track the Carolina Panthers from beginning to end throughout the season. You're sitting there in week 7. We're 6-1 at that point, or whatever it is, 6-2 in week 8. If Cam Newton stays healthy there on that trajectory, you're sitting here going, this is crazy awesome. Thinking and knowing what we know about Cam's health now and his inability to throw the deep ball at all is how good was he in those first 5 games? And then you think of a healthy Cam, a more familiar Cam with Norv Turner. All of a sudden, I'm really secretly trying not to say it out loud, but we may have lightning in a bottle.
Listen, man, I have said this for a long time now. And of course, I believe it. I know you believe it. I know most of the people in our YouTube chat believe it, but when Cam Newton is on and playing his best football, he is the most difficult to stop player in the NFL. He is the player that keeps defensive coordinators up at night because he's such a threat to run. He's so hard to take him off of his feet. And he has a laser beam cannon for an arm. So Cam Jordan of the New Orleans Saints, who loves to go back and forth with Cam, said on Colin Cowherd's show that Cam Newton is strong like Ben Roethlisberger. He's got the accuracy like any other top-tier quarterback and can outrun you more than Russell Wilson can. And look, that's a guy that has to play Cam Newton twice a year. That guy isn't just making that up because he wants to say nice things.
And he talks shit about Cam all the time, like trying to get under his skin. The fact that he is saying this means he believes it, and he doesn't think that highly of Matt Ryan. That's for damn sure.
Well, I mean, who does? I mean,
good point.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, he's talking about from a defensive end perspective, who is harder or who is it more fun to sack? And he's talking about, well, with Cam Newton, you feel like you earned it. You have to bring that big son of a bitch down. You have to actually do your job. Whereas Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, even Jameis, as soon as you put your hands on them, they're folding like a cheap wallet, man.
You look in the chat room. Underground West says return of Super Cam, and you know it, and I know it, and we know it. We knew it. We weren't worried about it, and I'm telling you, folks. We understand on this podcast at least, and I know that all Panther fan, the ones that, and I'm gonna say I don't like that true fan commentary, right? But there is a group of people that don't think that Cam means as much as he does. We are on that bandwagon that he means more than you can understand, and we just know it. And I know that the short-term memory of national football fans, the national media, may have forgotten Super Cam, but he's still there, right? He is still there, and the magic, all it takes is another 6-2 start, and all of a sudden they will be on Cam's jock like crazy.
I mean, I wonder, I mean, I don't wonder. I know for a fact people didn't talk about Drew Brees, the way that we do now when he was just, 30 years old. Or maybe they just started to talk about him in that kind of way. I mean, some quarterbacks really turn it on later than others, but it's not even about him turning it on. It's about, and I genuinely believe this, that on paper, as of right now, Cam Newton this year might have the best offensive line that he's had in his entire time here as a Carolina Panther. So if you're able to give him enough time, and he has the strength to stretch the football field and throw it downfield and hit those go routes like he was in 2015, and his ability to rush the football and his intelligence behind the line, dude, I'm telling you, there's no other quarterback that you want on your football team when they're playing at 100%. Cam Newton is that kind of player. We have better weapons around him. We've tried our best to build a wall around him. Kudos to Hurney for that one. It feels as though now under David Tepper, we're finally trying to do right by Cam Newton. And I'm hoping, and I genuinely do believe, you will see the results this year to all of those pieces coming together.
I want to look it up. Hold on. Jeff Schwartz, who drives me nuts half the time in life because he only talks to people that are jerks. Like, he is very thin-skinned in the fact that he will come at you if you're talking junk. But if you really want to actually try to talk football and get some info from him, he will ignore you. So you almost need to be a D-bag to talk to Jeff Schwartz. He had a tweet, and I'm trying to find it up here, and it was talking about how someone had said that, hold on, CMC should be the MVP, right? And that, all right, so here it is. He tweeted this. He said, a healthy Cam Newton is more important to the Panthers offense than CMC by far. Duh. All right. So we're going into this all or nothing season. We're coming off of Cam Newton's injury where we're about to learn all of these things. Christian McCaffrey he's arguably a top 5 running back in the league, right? A guy that does all of it. And now a lot of talk surrounding running backs in the NFL. Melvin Gordon threatening the Chargers to sit out or demanding a trade. There's rumors now of Ezekiel Elliott sitting out training camp. These running backs know, particularly the ones that are selected in the first round, that they have 5 years on that rookie deal. And while that may be sweeter than being a third-round pick, the worst thing about it is it takes them 5 years to get a deal. Now, CMC, amazing. Over 100 catches, 99% of offensive snaps, but still second fiddle to a healthy Cam Newton. Where do you post him in the running back top 5, or where do you put him in running backs? And where do you think about what he is thinking as he's seeing these running backs around the league starting to recognize they gotta leverage a little bit when they got it?
I mean, as far as my top 5, that's so hard to say, man. I think that
is he in the top 5? Is he in the top 5?
He definitely is in the top 5. I mean,
Saquon.
In my mind, the perfect running
Zeke.
back has to be able to do everything that Christian can do. You have to be versatile. You have to be able to catch passes. You have to be able to run routes. You have to be able to bounce it to the outside and run in between the tackles. And when you look at the level of dedication that he adds to the game, as Cam Newton calls it, that Caucasian preparation that he says Christian and Greg Olsen share.
That's messed up. That's racist. That's racist. And just because you're saying nice things doesn't mean it's not racist. That's like saying black dudes have big dongs. It may be nice, but it's still racist.
You know what? If it's racist, then Christian McCaffrey can go cry on the booty of his Instagram girlfriend who's just
she's hot. Also, got sloppy segments from Edelman.
And then rain money on top of her while she's sleeping. So yeah, I don't think he's too upset.
We're so bad.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm top 5 to me. None of it matters because that's the number 2 on our offense. Once upon a time, it was Greg Olsen, but right now it goes Cam Newton number 1, and then Christian McCaffrey number 2 as the driving force behind the offense and making it run and being able to be versatile. So he is absolutely a valuable weapon. Unlike a lot of people would love to have a Christian McCaffrey, put it that way.
Holy cow! I cannot believe did Adrian Peterson really? He had 1,000 yards rushing last year.
Yeah.
Where is Christian McCaffrey on the rushing? How many rushing yards did he have?
I want to say right below 1,000, either right above or below 1,000.
Hold on, I'm trying to look it up here. Maybe this. Okay, yeah, he had 1,098. He had over 1,000 yards rushing. So here are the guys that have more rushing yards than him: Chris Carson from Seattle, Joe Mixon. Not much. I mean, right? Then Todd Gurley had 1,250. Saquon, 1,300. Ezekiel Elliott still had 1,400 yards last year. So now when we think about Christian McCaffrey, though, and how does it feel to you when you hear, what is your thoughts, Melvin Gordon holding out or forcing a trade? How do you think that's going to go over?
I mean, not well. Because it's different. He's not Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? He's not going to demand the kind of, at least I don't think. I mean, they're handing out these crazy contracts now. So, I mean, I'm not surprised if they make him the highest paid running back in the NFL. I sure as shit would not. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but, and when you look at the number of running backs that come out in the draft that are versatile, that have the ability to do different things, I don't know why you would pay that amount of money for a running back. And I don't really consider him to be the versatile type of player that McCaffrey is, or an Alvin Kamara, or a Barkley. And I don't think that he's as strong of a runner as Ezekiel Elliott is. So I would not pay him the money that he wants. I would see what I could get for him if that was the case,
I think that Ezekiel Elliott has a better case than Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon he's experienced, he's dealt with injury, right? We know that Ezekiel Elliott has been the motor of that offense. So I think it would be more understandable from Ezekiel's point. I don't think if I'm the Chargers, I give into this at all. And I don't even know. I think it might be a misplay by Melvin Gordon a little bit. I don't know if it works out.
No, I don't think so either. And hey, shout out to our boy J-Dub in the chat. Long time no see, brother. Hope you're well. Thank you for stopping in with us tonight. But yeah, I wouldn't pay him. I'm on your side. I don't think that's going to turn out well for Melvin.
So, though, bridging that to the Carolina Panthers next year, though, Christian McCaffrey could be in a similar boat. First-round draft pick for the Carolina Panthers, over 1,000 yards rushing. And as Josh from Mass has pointed out from my southern accent, that he had 2,000 rushing yards, as in from Russia.
Damn Russians.
Russian meddling. He had 2,000 meddling yards. No, but you got a guy who's got 1,000 on the ground, 1,000 in the air, 100 catches, 99% offensive plays. If there's anybody that is arguing for top dollar in the league, it's guys like Alvin Kamara, like a Christian McCaffrey, and we have that right there, a number 1 draft pick. Do you, if you're Christian McCaffrey, start to say, hey, I need to be considered in the realm of a receiver? I think going back sort of to the Le'Veon Bell conversation, and that is, while I may be a running back and you use me like that, I do so much more. Maybe I'm not a top wide receiver that comes along, you know, that are so rare, but I'm also rare in my own right. And I wonder if Christian McCaffrey, or do we just assume that because he's white and he's good looking, that he's just all of a sudden going to be like, oh, I'm a team player. And what I mean, that's a bad joke. And what I'm really saying this is we act like too that Christian McCaffrey shouldn't do that, like, or wouldn't ever think that way. I'm saying he should.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this. I think the days and years of players waiting until their fourth or fifth year to sign their contract, that's over and done with, man. They signed Carson Wentz to the richest quarterback money in NFL history after 3 years. And if they paid Ezekiel Elliott and you have contract negotiations with the NFLPA coming up, I'm telling you, man, they're trying to make that cheddar quicker than ever before. Also, because there are more and more players coming through the draft that are looking to take their job. So, yeah, man, the days of you waiting to the last minute to sign your star player, like how they did with Aaron Donald, yeah, that's never happening, never again.
J-Dub, what's good with you? Like Cody said, he's in the chat room. Also, I saw Oliver Irwin from Northern Ireland, big fan of the podcast. Keep pounding. He says, man, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. And God bless. I'm a Catholic, and I'm pretty sure the Northern Irish people are Catholic. I think they are. Should know this. Are you Catholic? Oliver, are you Catholic? Okay, going on with this. Let's see. So my question was, should CMC hold out?
I mean, I hope it doesn't, but man, I mean, what if he has, 1,300 Russian yards and 12 through the air? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he has that kind of season, then, dude, he can say, I'm another LaDainian Tomlinson. So,
especially if the Carolina Panthers, like J-Dub says, I love our roster and team this year. Imagine if we go out. If I think it would actually complicate a lot of things if the Panthers won a Super Bowl or made the then if you're Christian McCaffrey, you're like, if you win a Super Bowl, then you already got the ring. Screw it. Pay me mugs. Back up the Brinks truck.
Okay, if Cam Newton has another MVP season,
pay me. He's gonna be a $35 million man.
So you're gonna pay
35.
So, this is I mean, we're kind of future sightseeing right now, but I mean, this is a very real scenario. What do you do in the event that Cam Newton balls out this year and Christian ball out this year, and they're gonna want more money? When is Christian up for a new contract? We drafted him in 2017.
This will be his third year.
Yeah, third year. Yeah, I mean, we might.
Which means we get 4 and 5. We get the 5th year option. That's the problem with this, is that that's why the question is actually a really interesting one, is if you're Christian McCaffrey, we got you for 5 years. You need to get paid, because running backs, they get worn down. That's why I think Zeke, that's why if Zeke don't get paid now, he's not going to be what he is in 5 years. Just can't be.
Legacy Lynn says Tepper doesn't react. Tepper initiates action. I think that will apply to CMC. So reaching out.
Well,
to
he
him,
better negotiate his deal like now.
Well,
that's what I would say.
Well, but David Tepper. I mean, like I said, we didn't say it, but he comes from a very different business.
I need a pep talk, man. I need a pep talk.
You need a pep talk?
Give me a pep talk.
How about
this stresses me out.
Well,
thinking how awesome we are.
How about a David Tepper pep talk, sir?
That would help.
All right, let's do it.
Mr. Tepper. Hey, can you come holler at us, please? Somebody come to you first, you come to me. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Like, get your ass up.
Yeah.
I was a little mad if you had some positive words that just inspire us with. You know what I'm saying? closet worse expires? Win. Hey, I like that.
Yep.
How about that? That's a word, right?
Damn right.
Listen, you know what? You know how many times I've been down?
I wonder where we're at in the season right now. We obviously have been losing.
That was a long time ago, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Time ago. I've been down 20% for the year. You know what you do when you're down? You come back. That's what you do when you're down. There's no staying down.
Maybe this is early before we. No, it's cold outside.
That's how you get back up when you lose.
Yeah.
That's what matters. That's the truth. I've done it a few times in my life. You know, it's just, it always happens. People put me down, you just get back up again. That's what it is. That's all it is.
Hey,
right?
well, can you tell me this then? Tell me how you about to get these 20% back, because I want in.
Want to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
I did it 3 times.
Well, listen.
I'm going to tell you what happened. Every time I'm down big, this is the truth. I'll show you the numbers. So if I'm down 20% the next year, every year I've been up 60%, and then 100%, and 100%.
Well, listen,
You know
brother.
why? Because I can't stand to lose.
Me either. That's why I'm coming to see
When
you.
when you lose, you come back bigger.
I tell you, TD can't shut up.
That's the truth.
Mr. Tepper said, bet man.
No, you know what you do? You make smart, calculated moves. That's what it's about. Smart, calculated moves. Smart risks, right?
Man, you know how much paper this hand untapped?
But Cam
All right.
is such a. No,
What we
he's
need to
so
know
talented.
is, what do you guys think when do you think that was? All right, so the Panthers last year had lost to, let's see, we won on October 8th against the Lions.
So
We had just
before-
beat the Patriots, right? No, is this the right season?
No, that's
the year before.
That's the year before. I'm willing to bet that this is after the Washington Redskins. After we lost to Washington in a very, very close game. That's when I think this is, because they're still talking hopeful. So it seems like, it's the kind of message of, hey, you got knocked on your ass, but now you got to brush your shoulders off and get back up. I've had to do it in my line of work, and that's what David Tepper is talking about. So, I mean, hey, when a billionaire gives you a pep talk on being down, maybe you should listen to him, And I kind of think the Panthers are definitely open-eared to whatever David Tepper has to say to them.
Interesting. It's cold. The ground is cold. I mean, the leaves are falling. Tepper's got a toboggan on. You're placing it, and there's leaves in the background. I'm thinking it's somewhere in October. Cam's not hurt yet. This might, like you said, and why is it so hard for me to figure out what we did last year? Did we finish third in the division? Who did we start off last year with? Dallas?
Yeah, we finished, we started with Dallas and we went to Atlanta.
Who did we lose to? And where did we lose where we were kind of like at 6-2? Who are our losses been to? And why is it so hard for me to find the fucking season?
Dude, go to Wikipedia, man. 2018 Carolina Panthers season. So we had lost to Atlanta in week 2, and then Washington we lost October 14th, and then that's before we played Philadelphia. So that's probably my guess.
That's it. Right after that Redskins game.
There.
Because
in October.
Cam's still happy. He's happy and joking.
Yeah.
If he was hurt, he wouldn't have been kidding around there. That's pre-November 8th.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Good job. Good job. We're dissecting this. We're figuring this all out. Just like this is that the reporters are watching the All or Nothing series right now. They watched it today. Jordan Rodriguez got to watch it. The guys from WFNZ got to watch it.
You know that?
Yeah, I saw they got the early special release.
Of all the episodes or just like one episode?
Oh, that's a good question. Do they get to see all of it or do they just get to see the first episode? And then I think there's also like a pre-release party you can get tickets to from Amazon. I saw somebody put one on Reddit that they got one. Like, so they're going to go, maybe the Panthers are putting on something where you can go screen at with them.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something. I saw it on Reddit that they were doing something, but I don't know what.
Here,
hey,
let's,
I'm going to be watching it from the flat of my back. I'm going to binge it all in one night, and then I'll continue maybe not the whole thing in one night, but I'll definitely watch a bunch of it and then refresh as we record our videos to upload to this channel.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the cat calls. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. You can be a part of the show. We want to hear what you're looking forward to about the season, what your thoughts about this team are, what you're excited about, what we should be talking about, because you guys let us know we really are like all on the internet searching for any clues together. So we're a team, and I'm still disappointed that somebody who works at Amazon is not a fan of this show enough to where they couldn't have leaked something to us for this video. One day we're going to be that big, Cody. But until then, let's hear what these guys got to say.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey guys, this is J.R. Joyer. I know it's pretty slow.
Sure, what's up?
Slow part of the off season, or nothing really happening. But I did get to catch the Panthers of the Hall for Steve Smith. And it seems like the one that I feel like all of us have been waiting for. No disrespect to the other guys, but this is the one where everybody has had their calendar circled. Steve Smith has always been a special player to me because he's the guy who got me into football. I mean, I was probably 14, 15, and watching all his touchdown celebrations really made me fall in love with the Panthers and with football in general. So I always credit Steve Smith for that, and I know he got that a bit of a unceremonious exit, but I feel like now we've made up for that. He seems like he's forgiven the organization and everything else. As far as anything else goes, I think that's about it.
I missed this call from last week.
Keep timing us.
So this is a call from last week, but he's going to come back in. Hold on. Let's talk about this quickly when it comes to we do know this. Steve Smith was the one we were all circling on the hall. We talked about him last week on the show. I don't know. I think that right now is before Cam, he is the most meaningful player to the organization. And right now he's still more meaningful at Cam at this point until Cam is not part of the Panthers anymore. But Steve Smith coming back home was important to us, Cody. When actually, we'll play the next call because I think he talks about plays. And I want you to think about this. When you think of Steve Smith, give me a moment that you think about. We talked a little bit about the NFC Championship game, but think on Steve Smith. What comes to mind?
Sure, again. I'm listening to the show now on the road. I just listened to the part about the favorite Steve Smith moment, and the first thing that comes to mind is always the 2005 playoffs, especially the game against the Bears, where Steve Smith absolutely demolished the secondary.
That's the best game ever.
Celebration going down the field goal pole, and then he had that sick juke that they play all the time, where the defender just like loses both of his feet and just falls to the ground while Steve Smith just walks to the end zone. That's always been my favorite moments in Steve Smith's career. All right.
All right, so we talked about it a little last week, and I kind of got starstruck in the moment. There's so many kind of things I did want to bring up. One, what about the punching Ken Lucas in the face moment? That was a good one. That was one of our biggest free agent acquisitions in 15 years as a Panther fan. 12 years. It's like 2010 or maybe a little bit earlier than that. And he gets there, he gets off the jet, and then damn, Steve Smith breaks his nose in the first practice on purpose.
Yeah, and I don't think either of us picked this last Tuesday, but then there's the ice up son on Akeem Talib. That started the segment that we end the show with. I mean, it's like I don't know.
What about the one where he catches the touchdown and mashes the dude in the air? Like mashes the guy in the air, stiff arms him in the air into the ground, then runs past him. That might have been the time that Roman Harper. There was one game where Roman Harper comes and delivers a late dirty hit on Steve Smith while he was a Saint coming, and that actually was the reason I was slow to embrace Roman Harper. Did not like him from that moment. But Steve Smith, while people talked about his temper, guys tried to come after him. In fact, Janoris Jenkins is one of those dudes. When he used to play for the St. Louis Rams, him and Steve Smith squared off. Steve Smith was going to beat that dude's ass because Janoris Jenkins said that, or Steve Smith said on the radio afterwards that Janoris Jenkins was saying shit about his wife, like had Googled shit, like knew her name, and was talking shit about his wife. Yeah. And Steve Smith was ready to beat that dude. He also fought some former player when we were in a Patriots former player who was like part of the media after a game. That was after the Ice Up Son game. He got in a fight with a damn guy who used to play for the Patriots. My man. You wanted Steve Best
Smith
moments.
you wanted Steve Smith on your team. He used to fight with everyone, man. And I mean, easily the best receiver that the Panthers have ever had, and it's not even a little bit close. Yeah, shout out Steve Smith, man, the best wide receiver to ever play for the Panthers.
Fantastic. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what he's got.
Shout out to our buddy Carl Van dropping the 99-cent, 2 99-cent donations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Man. Thank you, Carl. That's my dude right there. That guy makes me laugh all the time. All right, let's see what we got to do with these cat calls. Numbers 252-228-5098.
What's up, fellas? It's Ben from Harrisburg. Hey, man,
What's
I
up, Ben?
haven't called in a while, but I just wanted to call in and kind of talk about how excited I am for this squad this year, man.
Oh, nice segue, Ben.
If you guys
Love
were
it.
to ask really anybody who knows me and has known me for a while, they'd probably tell you that I'm the most pessimistic Panthers fan that they know. And that has been true, but for whatever
Sounds
reason
like a
this
fan,
year, man,
period.
I am
All
feeling
fans.
it. I am feeling the juice with this team. I think we've got something going. We've got a reloaded defense, not rebuilt. We have a reloaded defense. We've got Ron Rivera, who, in my opinion, truly is one of the at least top 5 defensive minds in our game, and he's calling the plays on our reloaded defense. We've got a young, explosive offense. We've got a hopefully and optimistically healthy quarterback with North Turner, who all of us have confidence in calling plays. And I don't know, man, I just got this feeling in my gut that this is the year, man. I see it. I see Sterling Silver in our future. I see Super Bowl 54 on the horizon, and I see us coming home as champions this year. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I don't know why, man. I'm just feeling it. And I'm about to throw 100 down on us. We got 60 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm taking that all day. Let me know what y'all think.
Fantastic call, Ben. Thank you so much. And I'm with you, man, is that there is an excitement brewing for me with this team. And I think, like you said, the word reloaded was important because one of the things, Cody, I sent you a text earlier today about like, hey, what the heck are we going to talk about during the show, this and that. And you said, well, maybe we should reintroduce the rookies. One of the things I love about this is we got a top 15 pick or 16 pick in Brian Burns coming in. We've got a lot of potential studs, or what we really think could be studs and needed additions to the team, but they don't have to be that from moment one necessarily. That's what I'm excited about there. He brings up Ron Rivera and the defense. I think you think about, too, when we've been talking about with Norv Turner and how Cam Newton, a healthy Cam Newton, you're talking about DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, all of a sudden weapons, more excitement than we've ever known. I think the only the real major question mark is, what will the defense look like? Not will it be good, just what will it look like? It will be different. And to me, the lingering question is, why the hell do we got to still deal with Graham Gano? I am excited about this team, and I knock on wood, I'm with them. It could be, I think at the worst, we're middle of the pack, at the very worst. But I think there's a really good chance that we could be exceptionally good.
Yeah, I do too, man. And I know you and I have gone back and forth on the defense a little bit. But, when you look at the players that we've added with Bruce Irvin and Brian Burns, who we were supposed to talk about a little bit, maybe someone in the chat room knows. I have not seen anything that says that we have signed Brian Burns.
No, I don't
yet.
think so.
Yeah, we have not signed Brian Burns.
The last rookies to sign.
The fact that it's so close to training camp, I do wonder what's taking so long. I'm not overall too worried about it. I don't think it's going to be another Joey Bosa, situation. But Andrew, look at, everything that we've done on the defensive line, bringing in Gerald McCoy. Our offensive line and defensive line are set to be so much better this year than they were last year. We're more athletic. We're younger. We've added pieces in order to protect Cam Newton. I share the same optimism. I share the same exact optimism. This is a Super Bowl squad. And if Cam Newton is healthy, the stars are aligning for this Carolina Panthers football team. I want to see them continue to do it. I want to see some preseason football to see how they gel. But I'm in 100% agreement. I love the roster as it is right now. We might have the best young roster that we have ever had as a Carolina Panthers football team. And that's saying something.
So before we get to the final cat call, Legacy Lynn, one of the best people and favorite people in the world, Lynn brings up an important discussion. She says, for my ice up pick, she says, I'm icing up Josh Norman. Josh Norman, there's video. He's in Spain. All of a sudden, they're in this ring. There's a bull in there. There's hundreds of people. It seems like there's a lot of people in there. And all of a sudden, some dude comes flying out of nowhere and jumps over the entire bull, leaps the bull. And it's Josh Norman. I saw a story. I did not get a chance to read it, but Jonathan Jones, former beat reporter for the Stroh Observer, now works for Sports Illustrated from UNC, wrote for the Tar Heel. He said that he talked with Josh Norman last year, and he kind of tweeted a story from last year about how Josh Norman does something each offseason to culture himself, to enhance and grow his life, or grow himself as a person. And in this case, he goes to Spain. He maybe not runs with the Bulls, but gets in there, a little matador action. Lynn thinks this is not a good decision on Josh Norman's part. Where do you stand? Josh Norman, kind of a Panther. He's a Panther love, a fan favorite of all time.
Yeah. So when it comes to running with the Bulls, dude, I just don't get it, man. Okay, if you're an adrenaline junkie, go jump out of a plane or go bungee jump or do some of that shit. But could you imagine being trampled to death by bulls in a foreign country? Yeah, I'm kind of with Lynn on this one. That's just, you're doing too much.
If you're the Washington Redskins, are you upset?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's weird because I'm not a part of the group of people that so for example, Patrick Mahomes had posted a video of him playing basketball, and people in the Chiefs organization didn't like it. And listen, I understand that you run the risk outside, of outside of playing football when you're doing stuff, but they have to be able to live their life. So I don't believe in too much policement. But at the same time, you're running with bulls, dude. Like, is there nothing else to help you satiate that adrenaline itch? I don't know, man. I don't know why you would do it. It seems pretty dumb to me.
I am on the other side. I know, Lynn, you're not going to like this. I'm going to disagree. First of all, I got a couple points to make on this. Number one, if you're the Redskins and you're upset with this, first, you don't even have a front office. Every year, you don't even have a GM. Like, you're like an owner and two guys that one used to be your quarterback when you won the Super Bowl, but they have the most disorganized and dysfunctional front offices, it seems like, in the history of football. So they're oblivious. They don't even know to be upset at this point. Number two is that Redskins fans hate Josh Norman. They have talked nothing but trash since they signed him. They have just dumped on him. He's been in the doghouse with the coaching staff. They've hired all of this. So it's not like they really care. A lot of people were calling for him to be cut. So if he gets hurt here, it's just going to be like, we told you Josh Norman was an idiot. I love it. This is why I'm okay with it. I'm okay with his ass jumping over the bull, this and that, because that's kind of what makes Josh Norman an awesome. And what I really mean by this is that, yeah, a normal person doesn't go jump over a bull. A normal person doesn't do these types of things. But they also aren't the highest level athlete who wants the ball in the most pressure cooking situations. So Josh Norman's got an edge. He's got enough balls to jump over a bull, and he's got enough ups to not get his balls hooked on a bull.
Enough ups to not get castrated by a bull. Good for him.
And I guess if you are the Redskins, you could be upset, but at the same time, Josh Norman has already gotten paid. He could still get cut, so it's not like he's going to lose any money. I mean, I guess he could lose a little, but I'm okay with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a huge fan of Josh Norman. I was super upset when we decided to let him go. JNO, it just seems like a cool ass dude. But hey, he's allowed to do what he wants. Is it what I would have done? Hell no.
Yeah, right. Good point. No, and yeah, yeah, I'm glad. Look, he's a Redskin at least. And what I mean by that is it's a lot easier for me to say I ain't got a problem with it. If I go see Cam Newton jump over a bull, I'm like, no. I also was the guy who said 2 years ago, or maybe 3, that we should just remember when Cam Newton was we gave Cam Newton shit for playing in that big inflatable ball. Do you remember there was the video, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, and those balls, they play soccer, they run into each other, and Cam Newton was in one of those, and we were like, he could hurt his ankle, he could do this, and he was in a freaking bubble. And I was like, hey, Cam, be careful out there. So if Josh Norman played for the Panthers, I arguably may be taking a much different perspective on this issue. All right, last call of the night. Number's 252-228-5098. If you want to get in the show next week, we'll be around. You can call and leave a message on the Cat Calls line all day, every day. We'd love to hear your opinion. Let's see what we got next.
Hi guys, Rich in London. I haven't phoned in for a couple of weeks because it's a bit of a dead time.
My man.
But tonight, I got my ticket for the London game. I've got.
You got to find Jay Cryer.
But the second-hand market is all more expensive than my ticket. So I'm basically goal line / end zone in the corner. So I'm going to get the 3/4 view of the pitch. So I'm pretty excited about it. Anyone coming to London that listens to this that isn't a member of the Riot or wants to meet up with people, let me know. Get in touch on Twitter or beforehand, and we'll see what we can do. I know there's a few of you. Panther questions. Where are we at? What grades are more annoying? This one, Cody. What do you think? What's more annoying, PFF grades or Madden grades? That can be your topic of discussion. You probably will have discussed it
What a great question.
I saw Jermaine Carter got a 64, but I think the guy's a bit better than that. And Dante Jackson was only and Samuel are only a 95 in speed. We'll wait and see. It's just a load of bullshit, basically. Can I say that?
Yes.
Anyway, I will swear in proper English terms. What a load of crap. Anyway, I won't play the game.
It sounds like you're giving us a compliment.
In my house. Anyway, guys, I'm sure you've got some great stuff tonight. I'm listening, even if I'm not always phoning in because my phone bill's massive. But anyway, look forward to more, and we've only got a couple of weeks till training camp. May everybody's ACLs forever hold your knees stable. Take care, guys.
What a call! What a call! Fantastic call. Thank you, Rich. So many good. All right, let's start right where and also Brad Dugan in the chat room says we got to talk about this Luke Kuechly and the kid video. We have it on the list, but I think I almost forgot. All right, Rich got a great question for you. More maddening. Madden ratings or Pro Football Focus ratings? Cody, go.
So listen, I'm gonna give the slight edge to Pro Football Focus because apparently they're supposed to be evaluating players that makes it easy and digestible for non-number crunching X and O fans to be able to understand. And they really sometimes they do a great job, and other times it's just filled with absolute crap and bias. These Madden ratings, on the other hand, listen, y'all. I am like my boy Mario here, in that you can miss me with that bullshit, dude, of Cam Newton being an 84 on Madden. Dude, what are we even talking about anymore? It just furthers the notion that no one knows what kind of player Cam Newton really is.
This is Cody on Twitter right here.
Yep, dodging all the morons and the Cam Newton haters and the people that don't like my politics posts and all that bullshit. This is me dodging you, bro. I ain't trying to hear it. Miss me with that bullshit. Yeah, man. Rich, shout out for the question, man. Great question. I'm not into either of them.
Number one, I'm going to say for me, it's got to be Madden ratings. And I bought Madden for the first time ever and barely played it because I suck at it. I'm not very good at it. And I barely play video games, period. Like, I want to play video games. I just have 3 kids, a life, work, career, podcast, all this. And video games is not on top of it. But I'm going to say Madden ratings for this because he brought up Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson is like the second fastest dude in the league. Yeah, we just saw him win a race. They need to update that shit to a 99.9. I mean, it's very simple. It's like, all right, if he's not a 99, then what's the Godwin guy? Is he not a 100? He's the fastest freaking dude in the league. The Godwin guy or whatever his name is, the 49ers dude. What I'm saying is this, is that if you are not, that's 100. And he was less than a 100th of a second. He's got to be a 99. If that dude should be 100, Dante Jackson should be 99, and Curtis Samuel should be like 98. So there, I think some other things about this we talked about. Look, Bobby Wagner, you mentioned before the show, Cody, ranked higher than Luke Kuechly. I don't know enough about the rankings overall. I just would say that the overall ranking I'm not as much concerned with, but in clear measurements where we got like tackling ability or speed, those things that are measurable, why are they not more accurate? I mean, I think the overall is more subjective and algorithmic, but Dante Jackson is the second fastest dude in the league. What does that make you?
Well, and Ted Ginn didn't race, even though he set up the whole race and was boasting about.
Did he drop the ball?
I mean, dude, listen.
At his own race?
Yeah, at his own race, and that's all he's ever been known for, Ted Ginn, except for when Cam Newton's making his career. But with that said, listen, man, you're talking about Electronic Arts. I've told you this before. They're one of the worst consumer-rated companies that there is. EA has been terrible for a long time. they're just garbage, man. And every year they try and add new morsels to make you buy what is essentially the same product damn near every year. I mean, does there need to be a Madden football every single year? I don't know. I kind of think they've run out of tricks at this point. But hey, man, I'm whatever, dude. Especially if we have the kind of season that we know we're gonna have, it's gonna be undeniable the true talent of the players on this 2019 Panthers football team.
Let me ask you this: is that if you were sleeping this past week and I woke you up, and that's young people terminology there. You saw a video. Yeah, you are woke now. Tell me about what the hell is this mess that you missed with Luke Kuechly this week, brother? And what cave were you in?
I didn't see this at all until Tony brought it to my attention. So this is Luke being embarrassed by a only slightly younger person than him, and then deciding, nah, enough of that, son.
So this video of Luke going at DJ Moore's camp, DJ Moore's football camp, I believe this is at. Toss right. Oh, left, right. He got him. He got him moving left and right. So
definitely got him. Then Luke said, nah.
Don't mess with this guy. He goes hard.
So this video breaks, Cody, and all the haters, not the haters, but people come out and they're like, it is funny. Like, you need to get, it's got to, first, that's why we do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we have these camps and you let kids, and you know that Luke Kuechly isn't out there impact doing all of this. So you got these people posting the clip, Cody, and they played that first one. You saw that one over and over. And then other people are coming back going, let me put this in a little context here. And then my man, so this little kid gets him left and right. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm Luke Kuechly. Everybody loves me. Everybody thinks I'm nice and perfect. I am. I don't do Flex Friday. I watch film. All I do, I'm perfect. But you know what he still don't like? Is that little kid getting the best of him. And he came and blasted him.
I wonder if it did the same thing to Christian McCaffrey. Remember when that clip of Christian juking
right, the next play?
The next thing is just to hammer it and be like, hey, man, remember who's football?
Sorry, stepping over him and shit. Like, my bad. I'm perfect still. Oh.
So, and then Derek Carr brings up a great point in our chat room. To Luke's credit, he didn't get a chance to do this.
There's not as much tape on him as other guys I've seen. So, like, the more you watch on guys, the better feel for you can get for him. So, like, when Saquon's in, I got to understand what his running style is. He runs very strong. He's got really good contact balance. His ability to start, and then his lateral ability to run away from guys is unique. He's fast, he's explosive, he runs strong. He's a special guy with the ball. If you don't understand kind of how he likes to run the ball, I think you put yourself at a disadvantage. Especially with a guy like this that's as unique as he is. You're putting yourself behind the eight ball a little bit.
So listen, man, Luke Kuechly, not only is he known as the best middle linebacker, but it's not just because of the physical gifts. Yes, the man is built like a Grecian god, but on top of that, the man is willing to do tireless hours of work like this. Ron Rivera has talked about having to kick him out of the locker room to tell him to go home and get some rest. I mean, the man is thinking about football. He is the commander general on the football field when the defense is out defending our dirt. And man, that it's such an asset to have that kind of player at the middle linebacker position. Luke changes the game of football in a way that a middle linebacker shouldn't be able to. So on the back of his preparation and his instincts and the amount of preparedness that he puts in and day out.
Are you trying to tell me that this kid caught Luke Kuechly on a short week right, on a Thursday night game after they played a 4 o'clock game on Sunday, and he's a rookie. There's little tape available. So Luke Kuechly, had he been had a little bit more rest time and preparation time, this kid never going to do that to him.
And I heard that he saved a bus filled with drowning children, just 30 minutes prior, and then ran all the way from where the bus was to the event because he doesn't want to be late. That's just the kind of man that he is. So, yeah.
So let me tell you this, is that I wonder how many views that video has on Twitter, but like 70% of them are Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
He's studying it. He's like, he was like, no, this boy's tendency. Nope. Never again. All right.
But I love that second tackle, you can tell that it did piss him off. It definitely pissed him off that boy juked him out of his shoes. So,
okay.
And it happens to the best of us.
All right. So that's about it, isn't it? Is there anything else?
Tony, we're two beautiful men. I don't know if that's related to Panthers, but
is that if he's August, then you're saying that you're September and I'm October?
I mean, hey, whatever you call it, don't call me late to dinner.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we got anything else to talk about other than this. Is that, look, I do want to plug a couple of things. Number one, let's plug our Double or Nothing bonus podcast we'll be doing on the All or Nothing series on Sunday. I think we're shooting for Sunday to record this. We might live broadcast it if we might as well. Might as well just live broadcast. Let's do 8:30 or 9 p.m. on Sunday. We'll work those details out. I'll tweet it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And let's just, actually, we'll settle on this. Let's settle on 9 p.m. Sunday night. It's a good time for everybody. The kids are in bed. So 9 p.m. we're going to do Double or Nothing bonus episode talking about the first couple of episodes of the All or Nothing podcast. The reason we're doing this, not part of our show. Number one, our show goes hours and hours, period. Number two, we want you to be able to listen to the podcast and not with fear of spoilers, because look, we are all going to watch. The great thing about binge watching TV is we get to watch it on our time. So we don't want to ruin that experience for you. So we'll have something separate marked out so that you know that if you haven't watched the show and you are worried about what we're going to reveal, that you can catch up on a separate thing. The other thing is I got to start working on the C3 Fantasy Football League. We've got a great T-shirt design that Lynn has done for us with the Keep Pounding logo, British theme. It's going to be good. I just got to put my effort in at this time. But we have a fantastic fantasy football league that we'll have the draft in the first couple of weeks of August. Not the first couple of weeks of August. I like to have the draft as late as possible so people don't draft somebody number one. They tear an MCL like Ken was talking about in that call. Rich, excuse me, not Ken. Rich Kingston was talking about in that call. So look out for information when it comes to the C3 Fantasy Football League. And the last thing we got to do is we got to ice some fools up, Cody. And Hall of Honor segment on the C3 Panthers podcast is the ice up segment where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together. Mine is short and sweet this week, Cody.
All right.
I was sitting just at my local watering hole waiting for my kid to get done with whatever activity it was. In the background is Sports Center on the TV or whatever, ESPN. I don't watch a lot of national TV shows. I get my news from you guys on Twitter. But the question was, and I was just reading, I'm just reading what they're talking about. I'm not really getting to hear it, but they were talking about, they were talking about the Atlanta Falcons offseason, team in general. And the question was, do the Atlanta Falcons make the playoffs? Well, in the clips, the B-roll material that they're playing in the background, Matt Ryan rushes like 4 or 5 yards on the Panthers defense to only muscle in with his little girl body into the end zone against 4 Panther defensemen. One of those visibly Shaq Thompson in that picture, Look, I'm not saying Shaq Thompson. I'm icing up the Panthers defensive players getting run over by a girl. That's what happened in that. I can't see that again. Don't let that happen again. Panthers defense, kill Matt Ryan. Figuratively, literally, ice up you guys who let a girl run you over and truck you in the end zone.
Yeah, how about this? Let's not let Matt Ryan or Drew Brees ever rush for a touchdown on
again.
Us. Yeah, ever again.
Ever again.
Ever in the history of ever and ever and ever. So listen, I'm going to make mine short and sweet, just to show you that people in government have no fracking idea what they're doing. Apparently, NATO accidentally revealed all the locations of the 150 nuclear weapons that we have spread all throughout Europe, dude. Because this world is so stupid. Like the people
can't keep a secret. The internet wins again.
There's no such thing as a secret. And even when a secret is kept, trust the people that are supposed to hold that secret are gonna fuck it up and let everyone know. Okay, and not only that, but we're gonna let people know that we have incredibly dangerous weapons just wherever inside someone else's country. And by the way, we don't even tell them where in their own country we're hiding them, because apparently we don't have to.
How big is America's D, Cody, where they get to tell the world, we get to tell the world, you don't even get to think about nuclear weapons, but we might hide a nuclear weapon in your mama's junk. And you got to deal with it. We may not tell you, but that's where we kept it.
Have you seen that South Park episode? There's a schnook in her schniz. Yeah, man. Listen, the American pen pan is strong, stronger than it's ever been, and some people love that. Whatever. People don't want
keep a secret, bitches. Excuse my language.
100% secret. So to everyone involved in this stupid ass story, man, ice up, son.
And we got 150 of them. It's like, never mind. All right, that's it. I was going to say 99 problems and a nuke ain't one, but there's 149 problems you got to deal with. All right, that not working. My name's Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at @_Chronicles. Be sure to subscribe to the show, share it with a friend. Thank you for all of you in the chat room. Susan Dean contributing, Carl Van contributing, Trill, Derek Hall, Underground West, Jake DeLome, all of you, Brandon Dugan. It's been great to hang out with you and talk Panthers football. Cody, you like to talk football and life on the internet. How can they find you on Twitter?
At Cody Lack, CODYLAC on Twitter. Jake DeLome said, I'm going to have a visit from the CIA tomorrow. I believe it, man. I promise that green stuff is oregano and it doesn't belong to me. Yeah, man. What can I say? I put myself out there for the many Panther fans and the people who enjoy my content.
Don't forget CIA, NSA. Follow us on Twitter at @_Chronicles. Subscribe to the podcast. We're here every Tuesday night. And this Sunday we'll be here for Double or Nothing when we're talking about the Panthers, All or Nothing. We're going to do episodes 1, 2, and 3 maybe. We've got to work out those dynamics. There's 8 total, so we might do 3, 3, 2. We'll see how it goes. Until then, we'll see you Sunday, Tuesday. Keep pounding.
And shout out to Susan Deans for the $10. Love you, Susan.
Subscribe to the C3 Carolina Panthers podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or anywhere you can catch an RSS feed. Check out CarolinaCatChronicles.com for the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective.
Great cash, homie.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Place your money line, prop, and parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly and offer resources to help you make appropriate choices. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Iowa only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.